Correction from part 1. I said that the Gregorian calendar is 7 years, 364 days ahead of the original Ethiopian calendar. It is 7 years, approximately 234 days ahead of the original calendar. In other words, from January 1st to September 11th is 234 days. So even though we are in 2022 on the Roman calendar, we are in reality in 2014 on the original calendar. And on September 11th, 2022, it will be Ethiopian New Year 2015. Notice in the Brooklyn Museum, they start off in Egypt. Why? Because if you're under the Roman calendar, they're basically following Egypt. So they would want you to think that life started in Egypt. But it didn't lie. They would say Egypt is one of the oldest civilizations, which is approximately 6,000 years old. But what they failed to realize, or what they purposely omit, is that in the book Blacks Before America, it states that Egypt is called the granddaughter of Ethiopia. In other words, Ethiopia predates Egypt. The Ethiopian civilization predates the Egyptians. And it's also written that an Egyptian was referred to as a disobedient Ethiopian. So in other words, Ethiopia is first. The Gregorian calendar is approximately 500 years. So obviously the Ethiopian calendar predates that. And obviously the Ethiopian calendar predates Caesar. But so let's analyze the story of Noah. He left on the 17th day of the second month and returned on the 17th day of the 7th month. Exactly 150 days. On the Roman calendar, every leap year, it would be 151 days. Why? Because the second month changes every year, every leap year, from 28 to 29 days. So let's break down the other calendars. But before that, we got to remember who's first. Ethiopia is first, and their calendar is approximately 8,000 years, a little under 8,000 years.
Welcome and blessings to the peace and cause. Yes, a mass reflex from Johnny Motion. Them from my scene, the world don't go back so far. I know that this is the dead in a soul. Them a worship up down now, they feel large. Them a move in a deep gangster under. Them a move in a deep gangster under. Remember, Jah. You look at me, Jehovah, the number single missing last year. But the wicked man a Kitagora, but the wicked man a Kitagora. Jehovah, 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 wicked man a Kitagora. Jesus got them not 0 to 60. And them not this over in duty. Them got this child of creation duty. Them from my sin that the bird don't go back so far. Them not know that this is the world them pass so far. I worship of the throne of the living Lord.
See, they're wicked, and they try to change time. So let's analyze the story of Noah. See, on TikTok, they want you to think that Ethiopia is behind time, as if Rome came before Ethiopia. So let us read. Ethiopia has an ancient calendar concurring the convictions of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. God made the world 5,500 years before the coming, that's their version, before the coming of the birth of Jesus Christ. See, they want us to think that Ethiopia correlates with the Jesus Christ story, even though Ethiopia does not follow BC and AD on their calendar. So they're just adding in their version. So let's read. Based on this timeline, we are within the year 7512 of 8,000 years. These are alluded. So you see they go back to 5493 BC. But if you listen to sci-fi, they want you to believe that the oldest bone, and they want us to look like monkeys too, right? So they want us to look like monkeys, and they want us to believe that this bone is millions of years old, even though the calendar only goes back 8,000 years old. They will also make up stuff like this. Ethiopia 4.4 million years ago. Like, what are they just making up stuff? Alright, so now, but according to them, these are the 10 oldest bones, which makes no mention of Ethiopia. So the first one, they'll say 12,000 to 13,000 years ago in America. So this is the 10th fictitious oldest bone that they found, or claimed to have found. 9 is in Mexico. Japan. 5 is in Italy. Just a bunch of make-up stuff. So it makes no sense even dealing with them. Alright. On the Ethiopian calendar, it goes from Monday to Sunday, compared to the Roman calendar, which goes from Sunday to Saturday, because it was Caesar who changed last to first by making the 7th day the first day on his calendar. So he changed it. He changed his calendar from the original calendar. The whole world knows it's Monday to Sunday. So even though he want to go Sunday to Saturday, it doesn't matter, because Ethiopia predates the Roman calendar. Not to mention, Ethiopia has the oldest monarchy in the world. In other words, it predates the Roman emperors. So anyway, on October 14th, the 17th day on the Ethiopian calendar, on the second month of the 17th day of the second month would have been October 27th. So from October 27th to March 26th is exactly 150 days. We could check it on this too. From October 27th, 2014 to March 26th, it's exactly 150 days. So let's check the Gregorian calendar. It dates back to 1592. In other words, it's barely over 500 years, compared to the Ethiopian calendar, which goes back up almost 8,000 years. So we all know the Gregorian calendar, the second month changes every 4 years. So it doesn't add up to 150 days. It only happens on the Ethiopian calendar. These are the other calendars in the world. Other 5 major calendars in the world. It doesn't add up to this because they got 6 35-day months. The Chinese calendar has 29 or 30 days. So that would not add up. The only calendar it would add up to is the Ethiopian calendar, because the first 12 months are exactly 30 days. And that's the only calendar. So if you go to the Jewish calendar, they're doing some lunar stuff, some made up stuff. They following the solar, the Islamic. See what the Persians are doing. They're also following the solar calendar. So there's only one calendar in the world that adds up. So now, as the end of the first period of 150 days described in Genesis, as the 17th day of the 7th month, whereas the flood began on the 17th day of the 2nd month, it is plain that the 150 days from 5 months of 30 days each. In other words, there's only one calendar in the world. It's the Ethiopian calendar. And notice it goes back approximately 8,000 years old. And we were not born from monkeys, because in the beginning it was the word. Until this day, no monkey could write or read. Stay blessed.